So for the longest time growing up, I had struggled with acne, and now I can say with confidence that I feel great with or without makeup, and it has to do with my skincare. So while my skin may not be flawless, I would say it's the healthiest it's ever been, and I am really accepting of the way my skin is. So if you can look at it right now, I mean, I have discoloration here, genetically I have under eye bags, I have freckles, and I'm not necessarily immune to to spots. So I'll still break out along the hairline sometimes, and I'll have some clogged pores here, but I have to say that, like, I'm much more accepting of my skin, and I feel like these are the things that people don't actually notice about me. So here is my skincare routine. Hypothetically, if I were to wear any makeup and I want to take it off, I would use the cleansing butter from Drunk Elephant. And it's supposed to take off all the top layer, any sunblock, any makeup. And I was always a little bit freaked out by, face oils or face balms, because I would think, if it's greasy, it's associated with clogging my pores. And I also would use like jojoba oil to take off my makeup, like the jojoba oil from Trader Joe's, but that didn't really work for me, and I would have to do it several times, several passes. But when you mix it with water, it turns into this really milky consistency. And then when you rinse it off, there's no oiliness whatsoever. So after I do that, I usually do the double cleanse. I use the 365 every day from Whole Foods. It's like the cheapest thing you could get from Whole Foods. I've used it for years, and it's so simple and gentle. I like it even more than Cetaphil, and it's cheaper than Cetaphil too. Now that I don't have any more product on my skin, I'll prep it with my actives. But before I do that, another thing that has helped me with my skin is just being more aware of my hair care. I've been using this brand called Scene. I'm not sponsored by them, by the way. It's just something that has really helped me, and I thought it would help other people. But they have shampoo, conditioner, and a styling cream. So when I'm looking at the ingredients, it's very skin conscious. It doesn't have anything that is comedogenic, such as coconut oil, which is in so many hair products. It doesn't have any silicone too. Not that that silicone affects me. I use skincare that has silicone, but I guess, for me in general, I actually don't like silicone in my hair. It weighs it down. So I'm really glad that I found this. And as for someone who has, like, my hair looks straight right now, but it's actually pretty coarse and wiry. And this is something that doesn't dry out my hair the way that most hair stuff do. So for my upper lip, I do get really thick hair up here. I bought this thing from Target, and I will link the name below. But this is awesome because usually I do get pimples around here from ingrowns, just like from trying to tweeze it myself. I do thread, but the thing is, like, with threading, it all adds up, and for this, it just kind of does the same, like, quality of work that threading does without giving me ingrowns. But in case I do get ingrowns, I would use a certain active, like the salicylic acid by Paula's Choice. I would probably leave it on this area. Sometimes I'll put it on my whole face. But my favorite toner is the Moon Juice Beauty Shroom. I'm told that it's comparable to P50, and I haven't used P50 yet. There are just some things in the ingredients that seems much harsher than the Beauty Shroom. And this is great because it definitely takes a lot of certain flaky dead skin off. I'm prone to flaking around here and around the mouth area. So that kind of gently takes that off. And when I do have anything that feels like a nodule, when I pat it on, the next day it's definitely reduced. So it helps with, I don't know if it's me or with other people, but it does help with inflammation. I'll either use the Beauty Shroom or I'll use Curology, which has definitely helped with any hormonal acne. Again, I'm not sponsored by them. In fact, I'm pretty like pessimistic when it comes to like skincare lines, but this has helped me so much. Since I already used the Curology last night, I'm gonna use this instead. And the thing I like about gauze is that it doesn't call for too much product to absorb it, and it presses like everything into the skin. It pushes everything into the skin super well, opposed to pads, which absorb way too much product. So what I like to do, I'll try to get around the corners of my nose because that is where a lot of my hormonal acne and my any blackheads start. I'll press it into the hairline because that is where I tend to break out. So I'm gonna let this absorb before I add any more product. But yeah, I am someone who definitely struggled with acne growing up. I think I started getting acne around like the age of 11, and I did the Proactive, and it was like an on and off thing where it worked really well at first and then it stopped working. And then my acne got so bad around 18, I had to do a lot of things like extractions and lasers, benzoyl peroxide and Retin-A. And then I also tried doing like the acne.org program. Like I did so many things and I felt like I spent so much money on going to the esthetician. So yeah, that it was just weird because I feel like my daily routine kind of revolved around my skin, and I felt so self-conscious to, you know, cover up my skin because I would get fixated on things like my under eyes or the discoloration around my nose, or, you know, like a pustule here, a pustule there. I finally did get it under control, and I think it had to do with like me not being in college anymore, so that kind of stress, you know, was alleviated. I learned that, you know, I react badly to dairy, so I took that out. Curology was the one thing that truly worked and has remained consistent for me. So I feel like if you're someone who is struggling with acne, give this a shot. What I like to do is put some hydration on. So I'll pat that on my face, and I actually like putting it everywhere. Like I could put it over my eyes, over my lips as well, on my chin, my neck. And if it seems like I'm not looking at the camera, it's because I'm not. I'm looking at the monitor, and it's such a bad habit for me, but I'm learning how to break it. I definitely would also recommend CeraVe. And I'm almost done with it too. I usually have the pump, I ran out, so I'm using the tub. Thank goodness my hands are clean. So I'll put this everywhere too. Like I like putting it over my eyes and my lips because I do think that, you know, like eye cream and stuff, yeah, it definitely works, but I feel like it could just be marketing, and I don't know if it's really any different from your typical face cream. Yeah, this is my nighttime routine, and I will see you in the morning. Whether or not I got enough sleep last night is up for debate, but I am gonna start my skincare routine. Overall, it's much more laid back than my nighttime routine. In the morning, I usually just do a quick rinse of my face. I feel like it's unnecessary to use any cleanser. I follow it up with a vitamin C serum from Drunk Elephant. And I put it everywhere. I even put it over my eyes, my neck, my lips. And this is up to debate or complete bullshit, but according to this esthetician named Melanie Simon, you leave vitamin C serum on for about 10 minutes. And that's what I usually do. And if it's total bullshit, feel free to comment down below, because I'm just going along with what someone says without any publication or any evidence. So now that that has set in, I'm gonna follow it up with sunblock. The two that I would recommend is Blue Lizard. I love their face sunscreen and I use it for face and body. They also have a mineral sunscreen too that is like labeled mineral sensitive if you are looking for something that doesn't have any chemicals. Another one that's just purely physical is the Drunk Elephant Sheer Umbra. And Drunk Elephant tends to reformulate their ingredients a lot, but their current list of ingredients for the sunblock that I have checked don't have any comedogenic ingredients, and I will actually send a link down below as to how you can check whether or not a certain skincare line or a skincare product would be prone to break out your skin or not. So I will put this all over my face, my neck, everywhere. And I'll let that set in. Because this is like an everyday skincare routine, I actually don't wear makeup on a regular basis. The only thing that I would wear would be some sort of tint. And my go-to tint would be the Milk Makeup in Quickie. It's like a nice lip and cheek balm. I got it all over my fingers. I'm sorry, that's gross, but I swear my fingers are clean. So I'll put it, I mean, everyone puts things on the apples of their cheeks sometimes. For some reason, I tend to put things on top of the cheekbone. But, you know, I don't think there's a real way to do things with makeup. I mean, it's just all kind of personal. I actually have really pale, muted, beigey lips, so I definitely need some sort of lip color or else I'll look anemic. No offense to any anemics. I'm anemic. That's why I have anemic lips. And in a very messy manner, I guess. You know, everyone has their style. So this is my everyday skincare routine. For the most part, I'm very happy and accepting of my skin, regardless of whether or not I have imperfections, because I feel like any of these imperfections I do have, either no one notices or they will go away on its own. And as for my skincare, I don't think that I'm going to switch it out anytime soon. I'm someone who feels no need to experiment, so whatever works for me, I stick with it. But overall, I hope you find something that you might be open to trying out, and thanks for watching.